It's the power of J Skull. Go, go, J Skull.
Welcome to the Power of J Skull, of course. It is Jason Roy Gast, and I'm VHS J. And we are continuing our little series where we're diverting away from He-Man for a little bit, but we're trying to stay with connective tissues here. And so we've decided we're staying in the Filmation family. We need to look at the Filmation version of Ghostbusters. There you go.
Yes, Ghostbusters. Let's go.
A series
Ghostbusters. Let's go.
Was so offended at when I was a kid.
You had no reason to be, though.
I had no reason to be, but at the time, me going, "What is this?
Yeah,
this is not the Ghostbusters."
So,
but it is.
Yes, this is the original Ghostbusters. It was based on a 1975 live-action Filmation sitcom. And whenever Ghostbusters was being made, Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman realized, oh no, somebody has the copyright on Ghostbusters. Who is it? And so they reached out to Filmation and says, hey, can we use the name Ghostbusters for our movie? And Filmation's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. You'd go ahead and use that for your movie. Put a Ghostbusters cartoon on development right now. And so, yes, they are the original Ghostbusters. They were Ghostbusters before Ghostbusters were Ghostbusters. And that's also why, in a move of pettiness that I have always respected, when the Ivan Reitman Ghostbusters were given their own TV show, they called themselves the real Ghostbusters.
No pettiness there at all.
Even though these guys were the real Ghostbusters too. But you know.
The live action series, Jace, if you're an F Troop fan, do you ever watch F Troop as a young kid?
Larry Storch. Yeah.
Larry Storch.
Larry Storch. I followed Larry on TikTok for the longest time up until the end of his life. He was a delightful man, and he is missed. And I did watch one episode of the original series, the live action series, and I can say it was excruciating. It was really bad. We're talking Super Mario Brothers Super Show levels of bad, but it was charming. It was charming, and I could see why kids would like it. Of course, they didn't like it, which is why it only lasted like 13 episodes.
Which makes it really interesting when they decide to do a series on this. They don't reboot it. This is a sequel. This whole series is, in a way, a sequel series.
I'm just kind of wondering, whenever they said that, oh yeah, this is the son of the original Ghostbusters. Because, okay, let me back up a little bit. I came across this series one day, and I watched an episode, and they were talking about, oh, so it's the sons of the Ghostbusters. So I assumed this was a sequel to the movie Ghostbusters. A very, very strange sequel, where they get a monkey and a car that talks and everything. And I did not understand it. How many kids in 1984 or 5, whenever this came out, knew about the Ghostbusters live action TV show? Did any of them know? No, not a one of them. Not at all. The only ones who knew were the people at Filmation. And they kind of made this show for themselves because they knew what they were doing. They knew they were cashing in on somebody else's movie, but they own the name. They own the name.
And why not? And I tell you what, they didn't cheap out on this series.
No.
They clearly spent some money on this because some of the animation in this series is quite impressive, even for 1986 standards.
Even for Filmation, it's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah.
Some of Tracy's animations, for example, very smooth, very frenetic, almost Tex Avery-like. I really enjoyed it. And the backgrounds, especially in that weird trans-dimensional changing room that they have, look like they were pulled right out of the mind of Don Bluth, where the dark thoughts come from.
Yeah. You gotta feel for the buddy. The second, what's his? I can't even remember his name now. I've gone blank because I'm old. All right,
I don't remember his name either. It's
but the guy wearing the hat at the top,
blonde one and fat one.
Every time they go through that,
when fat one is shirtless, he's got like muscles, and I didn't understand that.
No,
why? Who are you, Uncle Iroh?
It's just, I felt that guy really got the story end of the stick, because they infer in this series that every time they have to do that, they have to get changed into the gear. He gets screwed over so hard and goes through this violent exercise for him every single time. Kind of got a feel for him.
It's their way of saving on animation. It's just like the Voltron transformation. It's just, hey, we can kill a minute with this. Yeah.
It was something they were very fixated on then, weren't they? It's like, when the heroes become the heroes, we need to have a sequence that we can use in every episode. Even though it doesn't need it, we'll put it in there anyway.
Let's replay this kick-ass theme song also while we're doing this. And as you told me in the chat, it's got a heck of a theme song. I really like it.
I like it better. Now, this is where I get controversial. I like it better than the real Ghostbusters theme. Because I've always thought the real Ghostbusters theme dilutes the movie theme. And I don't like it. And I like this more. I will die on this hill, Jace.
And so you shall.
Ghostbusters, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The thing is, that's a great impression. I'll give you that one. That worked really well. You could definitely play Tracy in the live action version for sure. For sure.
I'm being interrupted by a child. Hold on a second. What do you want? Okay. Go. Just get out of here. Just take the car. Take whatever money I have. Just leave me alone. Daddy's talking about cartoons.
Here's my money. Here's my keys. Yes. Just go. The thing that surprised me the most about this series, and the thing that delighted and I enjoyed the most about this series, it's a time travel show. And I was shocked that it was a time travel show.
I know. I was watching this thinking, what? I'm the werewolf from the future. You're the what from the what?
From the where now?
I'm a robot ghost from the future. You're a robot what from the what?
It's wacky like that. They really took swings with their concept.
They took a lot of swings. Not every hit connected. But I do applaud them for taking some very wild swings with this show.
They do.
I'm just going to say, it was hard for me to get through these 5 episodes. It was very hard for me because it just, even though they had a very interesting and I would even say high concept idea for this show, every single episode was like lowest common denominator. Yeah. To the point that characters had to explain what was going on. You know, the stuff that we can actually see on cameras. Like, look, Tracy's climbing across that tree to get that banana. Like, we can see it. It's right there. Why are you telling us? Who are you, Dora the Explorer? Shut up.
It's so true, though. If you watch this show without any sound, you go, who makes this show? This is good animation. And as soon as you put the volume up, you go, this is Filmation. Because of the script, because of the lowest common denominator.
Also, that guy sounds like Skeletor. That guy sounds like Man-at-Arms. Oh, that's the girl who plays She-Ra. Yeah, it's just very recognizable. That's Cowl. Yeah, the little wizard is Cowl. That made me angry whenever I first heard that.
And we do get our cutesy characters. We get our buffoon characters. There are certain Filmation stereotypes, dare I say, that are infused itself pretty well into here. The main character crew, though, which is Tracy and the 2 guys, I don't mind. I thought, and we should be really honest here, we only watched the first 5 episodes of the series, which is one complete arc. It's really one story cut up in 5 episodes.
One very laborious arc.
Well, I don't know if they ever released it as a film, which is clearly what they do in this scenario, because it would have been a horrible movie.
I don't think they did, because you can tell that even though it's telling one grand story, it's very episodic. Every episode has a beginning, a middle, and end, and I think that is why it becomes so frustrating, is because it's a story with 5 different ends. And the fact that they're fighting each other for a tablet with words on them, and whenever they're being taunted with the tablet by the bad guys, you can clearly see the words.
Yeah, you figure it out pretty well in episode 1 what it's all about. The only twist being that the shape of the tablet plays a part. That's the only thing I'm going, oh, okay. At the
They
end,
never
it's
did
actually,
explain where that stupid tablet came from,
no,
though, did they?
but it pulls the Rise of Skywalker move where he just happens to hold the tablet and it lines up exactly at the point where he's standing to the cave.
In the future.
In the future.
In the future.
I know
that's what
I'm not a big fan
Ghostbusters
of the
needs is
villain.
more time travel. You're
Who's
not a
the
fan of the villain?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I love the guy. I thought he was fun.
Yeah,
Primeval. I loved his design, and I loved the fact he was basically Diet Skeletor. What if Skeletor was assimilated by the Borg? That's Primeval for you.
What about the henchmen then?
Okay, the henchmen were dumb. Every single one of them were dumb. The only one I remember is I don't even remember his name, but he's the werewolf from the future who sounds just like Cringer. Exactly like Cringer. Oh, I'm going to go take a nap underneath this staircase.
It's the pirate one that drove me nuts.
Oh, the pirate one.
We have a pirate ghost. We have a werewolf ghost. We have a mummy ghost who's just this dumb moron. We've got a female bride of Frankenstein.
Then we've got a Medusa, and then we have the hunter from Jumanji. We have evil C-3PO who just keeps falling apart.
It's just so all the creativity went into the concept of the show, and not necessarily in the character designs and the plots overall.
See, I disagree with the character designs. I thought for some of the characters, the character designs were quite good. Primeval, for example, I really liked his look. His face was very well detailed. The robot ghost, I thought looked really good, even though I could not stand the character. The rest of them kind of basic, but whenever they got a good character design, they went with it.
Well, Tracy's my favorite. I just like Tracy.
I loved Tracy, and I don't understand why Tracy had to have such defined abs. Every time you saw him, I was just like, dang, I shouldn't be looking at monkey abs, but dang, you could do laundry on those things.
My reaction is, why is he hanging around with these morons? He's way better than the rest of them. He's way smarter. Like, what are you doing? Like dumbing yourself down to hang with these?
Yeah, I don't get that either. Unless he just really cares about the mission.
What about the sex-obsessed car that we have who's chasing down a space scooter from the future?
The Paul Lynde mobile. I'm gonna go after this girl, which doesn't make it like Paul Lynde, actually.
No. But she really likes me. Yeah.
The sex harassment mobile.
I
thought it was okay. I really liked the design of the ghost. What do they call it? The ghost mobile. I like the design. I like how it transformed. I kind of did a deep dive because I wanted to see what kind of toys they had, and they had a toy of this, and I want it, but I'm never going to get it because they're going for like $1,000 now.
Brought up toys. Let's just pop this up on screen if you bear with me for a sec. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of these toys that they had on offer down here because they do have them. They did release a range of toys for these. Don't know if I can make that any bigger, but I'll see if I can try and do that.
Filmation released toys to go along with the animated TV show?
That's not a bad range of figures there, Jason.
No,
I mean, those figures.
I like collecting werewolf figures. I want that werewolf figure. He looks really good. And the Primeval figure looks really good. And so does the evil C-3PO. Well, heck, the two guys, Spencer and I don't know, Kong. Yeah, whatever they are. They look really good too.
And Tracy's there. He's sitting down, so he's not sure.
Oh, that is so disappointing.
No, he's not sure.
Look at how they massacred my boy. Oh.
You know who got done over the worst in this one? The reporter, figure 5.
Wait a second. They made a action figure of that reporter? I thought she was a one-and-done character. Oh my gosh, look at that hair. Ew. That is just awful.
They also released their Castle Grayskull of this.
Yes.
The Ghostbusters headquarters, which I'm saying is awesome. I love this.
It really is. I mean, it definitely looks like it does in the TV show. Incidentally, every time the headquarters was on TV, they played sound effects from Atari Centipede, which I thought was really kind of fun. Yeah. Oh God, I hated those dolls that had the real hair. Those were so bad. Yeah, but
what works for the car the most is actually that logo, that kind of ghost symbol there.
Mm-hmm.
To me, is so strong. I think they did a really good design with that.
It really is.
But so they did come out with toys, which I was totally unaware of at the when
I remember seeing them in stores because I wanted Ghostbusters toys and I couldn't find any, but I did find these guys. And of course, not understanding what they were, that made me very angry.
Well, they had a limited run. They definitely didn't get the the amount of toys that the real Ghostbusters got because they're a lot.
They're huge collector's items nowadays, especially the play sets, because you've got the ghost car, you've got Ghost Headquarters, but you've also got Primeval's, I can't remember what he called it, but the big piano organ that he has.
Oh,
you have that as well.
You can get that as well.
And you have Future Girl's little sky sled. But huge collector's items because I wanted the car and I went to go look for it on eBay and no,
cheaper to buy a house.
Yes.
But yeah, look, so it had that. Their intention clearly was this thing was going to be a hit on Saturday morning, and therefore it was going to drive the toy market. And I suspect that wasn't the case with this show because
it had quite a few episodes though, but I don't think it was ever a hit because everybody was just like, they'd tune in and then they'd say, "Oh, this isn't Ghostbusters," and they turn it off.
So is timing the downfall of this show? If this show comes out, no, I don't think it is. I think the only way the show works is prior to Ghostbusters because, even 3 decades later, if you said, "Oh, there's a Ghostbusters cartoon on," you'll assume it's the Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. The timing is very purposeful because they put this out to capitalize on the Ghostbusters movie. That's
bad call. But it's such a bad, where was the marketing team going? Hang on a minute. We need to think about this. It's just never made sense to me. So you're just going to confuse your audience. How do you expect them to attach to it? So they're going to come in thinking something. So no matter how good your cartoon is, it's going to fail because people are going to feel like that's not what I'm expecting.
Yeah, but I could also see it from, this movie's going to be a hit. Let's put this cartoon out there, and therefore the cartoon will be a hit. Because I don't know if they had any plans to do a Ghostbusters cartoon, for the movie at the time. So maybe they thought they'd be the only game in town.
Maybe. You said they had a lot of episodes. Like that, they made a couple of seasons, wasn't it? And
I think so. I don't have my phone with me, so I can't double check.
I wonder if this was under the same 5-day-a-week format that they did with him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was. I think I remember it being on 5 days a week, but I did not see a whole lot of this show.
No. And to be honest with you, I probably won't. Even more. Like, I see what it is. It's got its charm. It's got its thing, but it certainly wasn't the pinnacle of Filmation. I just wish they had brought more writers from She-Ra and He-Man over to maybe write some. And maybe it does get better. I'm sure maybe there's people out there going, dude, you've got to watch episode 12. It's amazing. But at this point, for the first 5 episodes, if you're not on board, you're going to get off, right? Because
I'm certainly not on board. But if somebody out there will suggest an episode that is really good, I will definitely take a look at it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But again, the only thing, the big tick was time travel.
Yeah,
that's an
time travel. And ghosts from the future.
Ghosts from the future. But there you go, guys.
I just love that every time they introduced themselves, it was, "Hello, I'm a werewolf ghost from the future. I'm a pirate ghost from the future. I'm Primeval from the future."
Yeah. There you go. Well, that was our little snippet into the world of Ghostbusters. I wonder if you guys out there have fond memories. Maybe, is there something that we're missing about the show that you want to educate us on? Definitely go in and comment. And if you want to support us, because we're going to do more of this stuff. Do we have any idea what we're going to do next?
Well,
No,
we did mention
we do not have any idea.
We did mention one, but you mentioned Jason of Star Command.
Yes. Are you saying we get to watch Jason of Star Command? Because if that's the case, I am on board 1,000,000%.
Let's take a look at Jason of Star Command.
Well, there you go, guys. We've just figured out what we'll be
appropriate.
doing next. It does seem appropriate because we're both Jason and we're both stars.
I didn't even make that connection.
There you go. It's meant to be. It's synergy. It's corporate synergy. All right, guys. If you want to support us and help us along our journey as we go through the world of Filmation, Jace will let you know how you can do that.
Why, my good dears and dudes, all you have to do is go to the link in the video description below and find out how you can. I was doing so well. You find out how you can support us on Patreon. You can support us for as little as $5 a month or more if you wish to be nice and generous. Or you can become a channel member by visiting our channel's main page. So please give often, give a lot. I don't want to work anymore. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we'll see you next time on
The Power of J Skull. Go, 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 J Skull. Go, go. Let's go, let's go.